Michael Cole.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can say because we're recording. According to Michael Cole, Rick the Hammer is not bald. It's a modified mullet.
It's a modified mullet.
Yes. Everything with Michael Cole is always a modified something else that's completely unrelated to what it is.
A modified mullet, that's vintage Richter.
Yes.
Well, hello everybody. Here's another WXR, as you can tell, getting underway here. We are going to run through first the Raw news, then the. I don't believe there's any SmackDown news this week, right?
Nobody watches SmackDown.
Yeah, okay, so no SmackDown. Then main event news, then NXT and Total Divas, and then we will end it with the news.
Right.
As you can probably see at the bottom here, we are joined by James Phoenix.
Yellow.
And Chris, a.k.a. The Mole.
Insert bow.
Now.
Well, they can't see me. I can't see
true.
Insert bow.
And Marcus Shadow is out of town or something. I don't know.
He's working in Richter's sweatshop.
There we go.
He's going home. He's going home.
Oh, there you go.
So without further ado, we will go ahead into the Raw notes. Whichever one wants to take it away first.
Okay. Bear in mind, my notes were written by Marcus, so it's like he's with us in spirit. We started Raw with Stephanie celebrating, brought Nikki Bella out to explain herself in quotes. We went into a sob story about how it was always all about Brie. Brie came out and tried to reason with Nikki, and even forgiving her, Nikki then said she would never forgive Brie, then slaps her. Brie leaves holding her face, and Marcus put in brackets crying. I don't know why he's done air quotes around crying when there was actual tears. No, you can't. Stop putting quotes around stuff that's the actual word. But
that's what
I like that segment. Yeah, I like that segment. I like that one because Brie seemed like she actually had tears. She was holding her face and walking off like she was crying. I liked it with like Nikki being like, no, it was always about Brie, and Brie like, please forgive me, please, I forgive you, and then Nikki slaps her and goes, you forgive me? I will never forgive you. And that made her leave crying and stuff. It was pretty good, and Stephanie came out with her Steph top doing the yes.
Yep.
Kind of funny.
That top is available now on WWEshop.com.
Just $9.99 on your dignity.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's 14 in your dignity, but yeah. Anyway, let's go through. So the next thing I have on my list, I don't remember who the hell they were facing, but basically there was a match that was an excuse to show off the new Big Show Mark Henry team.
Wyatt.
Oh, okay, that's right. It was a Wyatt. Fair enough.
And the Wyatt won.
Did they?
According to Marcus's notes.
Okay, fair enough. I said I didn't pay much. I saw Big Show Mark Henry. I said, oh well, that's gonna be a slaughter. I didn't really pay much attention to the match. I guess I should have.
Yeah. After that, we had my moment of the night. Seth Rollins has been interviewed backstage, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And Ambrose came in and dumped ice water all over Rollins. Rollins turned around and Ambrose just says to him, "What? It's for charity." Then slaps him with the bucket and starts to beat him up. I thought it was just a brilliant line.
That was definitely the line of the night. That was good. I didn't like that a lot. Although you did skip over the part where Dolph Ziggler was in the locker room with Woo Ric Flair, and he talks some crap to The Miz in preparation for their match later in the night.
Yeah, although to be fair, we were just meant to be talking about the stuff we liked. I don't think anyone liked that segment.
Fair enough. I like Ric Flair. Anyway,
I like Ric Flair. I didn't like the segment.
Fair enough. So what else we got? So basically, after the fight, Triple H says, "All right, I've had enough of this crap." So he now tells the fans, "You, the fans, are going to pick the match type that these two men are going to have at the end of the night." And listen to these match choices, Richter.
Okay.
So very distinctive match choices. Your choices for the match simulations are a no-holds-barred match,
mm-hmm.
a Falls Count Anywhere match or a no disqualification match.
There actually is a distinguish between those two, between those
Just
three matches.
not
The
huge.
No disqualification means there's no disqualification, but you have to pin them in the ring. Falls count anywhere means falls can count anywhere. And a no holds barred match is the first one to look away from watching that horrible Hulk Hogan movie loses.
That's going to be in the next game, right?
Yeah, totally.
They'll just show that part. They'll just keep showing the movie, and it'll use the camera and the Kinect to see if you look away.
Yeah.
That's only in the Hulk Hogan Collector's Edition.
Yeah. The only way to actually pass it to get the trophy is to tie yourself to the chair, robot chicken style, with the eyes open.
But yeah, that's the funny thing is that yes, those matches do have discrepancies in rules, but not to the WWE.
Yeah, I was kidding, because in my opinion, they were all pretty much the same thing. I don't care about the falls count anywhere means you can pin them anywhere. They were pretty much the same thing. And even if you count the falls count anywhere means you can pin them anywhere. What's the difference between no disqualification and no holds barred?
The difference is that in a no holds barred match, there are no holds are barred. You could choke a dude. You can.
But they use weapons.
I know. I'm just saying, based on the rules of what that term actually is supposed to mean, they should be able to choke each other or use like the Ric Flair nuts grab and shit like that. But theoretically, you can't hit a guy with a folding chair. But in WWE, that's never actually meant that. It's always just been effectively a no disqualification match.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but yeah, and you can tell. And the funny thing is, I'll just mention now, the match that won was the Falls Count Anywhere, and I'm going to get to something that Seth Rollins mentioned on Main Event that's going to make your head explode later. But anyway, so yeah, so pretty much that's that.
And next on Marcus's notes is Natalia v Paige.
Yes.
Non-title match, and in my opinion, it actually started off well. Marcus says it too. Then AJ came out, and Marcus says here, and I quote, "I'm sorry, I like AJ, but fuck off. This was a match I wanted to see. I was afraid AJ would come out straight away and ruin this whole match like she did. Fuck off."
Mm-hmm.
That's literally his note.
Fair enough. Yeah, the match was okay. It got a little sloppy. I thought it was good to start, but then when it came out, everything just kind of slopped up, and I'm like, come on, Natalia, you're better than that. I don't know much about Paige, but I know you're better than that. And
I will say the matchup itself, I didn't think was sloppy. I thought that was pretty awesome. AJ coming out did sort of ruin it. However, they did the same thing. They did a similar thing on SmackDown, where AJ was then holding the Divas title as Paige was in the sharpshooter looking on and stuff, which that was kind of cool. The SmackDown one did it better and put more emphasis on the actual match.
Nice. The other thing that happened, I'll just mention as part of that, is that after the match, basically Paige got a microphone in her hand, and after anyone, Paige got a microphone, basically, or AJ got a microphone, and said to Paige, because Paige had said before the match, yeah, Paige said before the match, I dedicate this match to my friend AJ, or some shit like that. And after the match, AJ got a microphone and put on her crazy AJ look. She's like, Paige, I like you so much. You dedicate this match to me? I dedicate my life to you. And I'm going to come in there and shake your hand. And she started climbing the ring, and Paige like freaked out and ran away. So, that was fine.
Is anyone else thinking with those two wanting to dedicate their lives to each other and stuff, they need to come out in in China in the Cat's Master and Slave t-shirts?
There you go.
And FYI, Paige would be Master.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, she's the taller, more powerful one.
Yep.
It's
Now,
kind
they need to come out with Eric Bischoff wearing HLA t-shirts.
of...
Anyway, so did you want me to go on the next thing, or was that enough for me?
I was on that note. I was alternating between us.
Fair enough. Okay. I just didn't know if that counted because it was part of what you had said, so I didn't know. Okay, you can do the next thing. Go ahead.
No, I introduced the Natalia Paige bit.
Okay, fair enough.
That segment was mine, so it's over to you.
So the next thing that I
No
have...
more interruptions.
Okay.
Just go.
I'm going. All right. So anyway, knew that was coming. But yeah, it was at this point that they announced the options for the Rollins Ambrose match. It's not really important. Just this is where they announced it. And so the next thing we had a presentation of the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship to the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar. And so Triple H and I think Stephanie was there with him, and they were in the ring. Yeah, they were together, and they had the belt under a sheet on a table. And then I said, "No, we have this new belt. Blah, blah, talk up the new belt, whip the sheet off. Nice belt, looked like the old belt, but with the new logo on it. Although it was noted,
I mentioned to you before you steal what I said, which always happens on these. I mentioned the belt looked smaller, more streamlined, like it was taken down a little bit, like because when Stephanie was next to it with her hand, not just Brock, it looked smaller. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think they've shrunken it a bit.
What I was about to say was that it was mentioned to me, and I think it was you that mentioned it more, and then I was going to say it.
Hey, I just did that because we've seen these in the past. A lot of times you say, yeah, and I thought it looked smaller. Someone would be like, and then I have to step in with, you only thought that because I told you. I figured I would counteract it.
Fair enough. Anyway, so they get in the ring, and Brock is presented with the belt, and they're all happy, and they have a photo op where Brock, the four of them, pose with the belt on all four sides of the ring for a photo op, and basically the fans then Paul Heyman gets a microphone, and the fans are hot for Paul Heyman. Great promo here. Like this was great. Listen to this, Richter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll write it down. Ladies and gentlemen, and he paused here.
Oh, good.
My name is Paul Heyman, and I am the one behind the one who conquered the one who thought he was the one to beat the one in 21 and 1.
A lot of ones.
It was.
I made the joke to Marcus of new Monday Night Raw drinking game. Take a drink every time Paul Heyman says the word one.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, so he opened the line and he really did a great job talking about Brock Lesnar and how he decimated John Cena. But some things talked up John Cena, mentioning that he was shocked at how Cena kept coming back for more and coming back for more and coming back for more in that match. And then he had a newfound respect for John Cena for seeing him do that. He said he'd never seen anybody do that like that before, and he had a newfound respect for him. And that given the opportunity, he would love to make John Cena a Paul Heyman guy.
Cue Richter rolling over in his grave.
Yep. Wait, did we kill Richter? I forgot.
No, he just has it on hand to roll over.
Okay, fair enough.
He heard ECW stuff to do with possible ECW badness, like the other time when Cena used ECW to get ahead, and he's like, jumps in his grave and just rolls about for a bit till he relaxes.
Fair enough.
It's true.
And after this, Paul Heyman then went into the other part of the promo that got everybody going. Was he talking about how, he defeated, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar does this, does that. Brock Lesnar has a certain strategy that he goes into. Brock Lesnar has a mantra he lives by. Brock Lesnar has a mantra: eat, sleep. What was it? Eat. So he's to eat, sleep, conquer, blah, blah. And then he went into, because of what happened, I don't know, you didn't see SummerSlam, but and to eat, sleep, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat, suplex, repeat. So and he went through it all 16 times, like eat, sleep, F5, repeat, eat, sleep, dominate, repeat, eat, sleep, F5 again, repeat, F.
Cyclone.
Yeah. F. Yeah. Eat. Sleep. Win. Repeat. Eat. Sleep. Conquer John Cena.
Yep.
And that got the crowd going very well. It was a great promo. Paul Heyman always has great promos, but that was a great promo because there was no interruptions or anything. None of that. Just Brock. There was a great point there though, where Paul Heyman did this thing and he introduced him, and he goes, "My client, the world WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock and he pointed at him and turned his full body. And Brock is sitting on the chair there. And Brock off microphone, while Brock laughs. He turns to me and goes, "Oh, the way you say that, say it again." And he goes, "Brock Lesnar." So, great promo. I loved it.
Marcus's note on this was formalytic Paul Heyman promo. Personally, I liked the promo.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest, it wasn't that formalytic. He mentioned some of the stuff he normally mentions, but that's just cheap heat. Like mentioning the streak and stuff. However, when you break down the promos, the rest of it's not that formulatic. And I'm going to say, as people know, I don't really like Paul Heyman. I haven't liked him since he went on UFC and said wrestling was a piece of shit and people should stop watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly came back when they gave him a paycheck. Weird. But, however, I love the fact, unlike other people, he can actually elevate Cena and use that to elevate Brock. Where, like, if Triple H comes out and he does a promo, say, against Randy Orton, if he was feuding with Orton, he talks himself up, but never talks up Orton. But the fact with Paul Heyman, he can talk up the opponent to great fucking almost iconic levels, then means his client that beats that person seems even greater. Not many people have that skill. They can talk up two people equally and make the feud great.
Indeed.
And I will also say my favourite part of that promo, you did not mention.
There's the part, I'm sorry.
My favourite part of the promo was when Paul Heyman mentioned, because we know what it's like for you, John Cena, with your hustle, loyalty, and respect. You're always at the thing of the guy with the most street cred, the guy who dies with the most street cred wins. In Brock Lesnar's universe, the guy with the most street cred who dies still dies. I just loved that bit.
I forgot about that part. You're right.
I just loved that.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. You're right. That was very good.
Yeah, and I just loved the part where Brock mouths still dies, and I'm like, that's brilliant.
That was good. That was good. On a related note, not sure this is my famous interested. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Haven. The Paul Heyman DVD compilation available now at WWE Shop.
Paul Haven?
Paul Heyman.
You did say Paul Haven, mate.
I like Paul Haven.
Who's Paul Haven?
It sounded like you said the Paul Haven DVD is now available. I was like, what the?
Anyway.
I'm thinking Paul Haven's probably the main character on Edge's show.
That
needs to be a guy. I'm sorry, there needs to be one in there called Paul Haven now.
Paul Haven is Paul Haven's the manager of what's his name in 5-Star Wrestling.
Oh, Ragnarok.
Yeah, right. He's Ragnarok the Conqueror's manager.
Yeah, Paul Haven.
Anyway, back to you, Mo.
Marcus's next one he mentioned was the Dolph Ziggler and Miz IC title rematch. If you wanted to go into that.
It was okay until the weird fucked up finisher exchange.
Fair enough. I didn't like that segment either.
Yeah, long story short, Richter, the match was not that good. I mean, the problem is these guys are both kind of mediocre. There was a really fucked up exchange where Ziggler goes for a Fame-Asser, and I couldn't tell if Ziggler went too fast and Miz didn't get out of the way in time or what the hell happened. But he hit the Fame-Asser. Miz went to his knees but didn't go down all the way, and Ziggler came off Miz, went the rest of the way down, and Fame-Asser his own knee.
Oh.
So I don't know how the hell they managed it. I don't know if Miz was trying to counter with the knees, or if Miz was supposed to get out of the way and didn't, and Ziggler moved too fast and fucked it up, or if Miz was supposed to go down all the way and didn't. I don't know what the hell happened, but Ziggler was holding his knee afterwards, selling it. So whether it was intended or not, I don't know, but he was selling the knee.
Yeah, and Marcus's next one then is Swagger versus Cesaro. Cesaro wins. He mentions Cesaro's theme music needs to change. It's as annoying as fuck.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I don't mind it. I like it. It's still got a Scott Steiner bribe to it. Holla if you hear me.
Where are my freaks at?
Yeah, Scott Steiner's music annoyed me too.
See, that never annoyed me. I liked it with the woo.
See, I don't mind there being a siren. Just don't play the siren through the whole fucking song. Play it as like the little sting opener that reveals the music, and then turn it off.
See, like I said, I kind of like that. The only theme song I don't like at the moment is the Wyatt whenever they use the "He's Got the Whole
He's
World"
got
because
the
they've overused that.
whole. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and it says it's annoying as fuck. Bo Dallas came out after Cesaro left the ring to cheer up Swagger. That's the reason I was mentioning this.
mm,
Personally, I thought Bo Dallas was wonderful in that bit. But
he-
Marcus said he was great in that. He doesn't mention what it was, but basically what that was, Victor, was
Mhm.
Swagger loses and Bo Dallas comes on the top of the stage, which, lol, that's even funnier because according to some dirt sheets, lol,
Mhm.
Bo Dallas was now officially be going back to NXT because Vince has lost faith in him
I
just because
saw
he didn't
that.
appear on Raw last week. But now he's on. If suddenly he appears on Raw this week in a great segment, and I'm like, yeah, dirt cheats, lol. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a case of he came out and he tried to cheer up the losing Jack Swagger because all Swagger has to do is Bo leave.
Yes. Now you
I
lost your
loved it.
title, you lost your manager, but you can get it all back. All you have to do is believe. That was great.
Yeah, I love
Dallas.
that. I love Bo Dallas. He's wonderful.
He better be DLC for the game. I did miss see an article about the game where they mentioned there are more guys they haven't revealed yet. So,
Yeah. So
also,
how about you? What's your next segment?
also, I will say that I'm a little upset that Jeff skipped one of the best parts of that thing, and that was right before the match when Renee Young interviewed Jack Swagger
Mhm.
because Renee's cool. And I was like,
Renee is awesome, but the interview wasn't that good.
yeah, Swagger for Swagger, it was an okay interview. I'll put it to you that way. So the next thing that happened after this was a promo from Y2J.
Oh.
But no one cares. So let's move on.
Oh, basically, Y2J came out and he started cutting this promo about how, I looked into Bray Wyatt's eyes, at SummerSlam last night, and I realized that he really is dead inside. There's no feeling emotion in there. It's like, Bray thinks there's three things Bray Wyatt will never have: a fire inside. I can't remember what the other two things were, but he got this great promo on Bray Wyatt talking about how he's dead inside. There's it's soulless evil and blah blah blah. It was pretty good.
Yeah, which, according to Marcus, he thinks it's pointless, which I kind of agree with, I mentioned to him. I think it's pointless continuing that feud. Not
I
that the
could agree.
promo was pointless, just
No,
because at this point, Jericho beat him, then Jericho lost to him. Why would Jericho want a rematch? Jericho has nothing to gain from it, because he already beat him. Bray Wyatt wouldn't want to continue it, because he's already beat the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller. So it's a
yeah,
case of, let's just move the fuck on. Let's go to Jericho Miz like we were supposed to have, goddammit.
true. But unfortunately, there wouldn't be a lot of build up for that because I think Night of Champions is Jericho's last night before he goes back on tour. So
Yeah, but I was on about this whole month would be that feud, and they've already
true.
set the groundwork for it when he came back.
That's true. They could do that.
But how about Ricky? What would Ricky think?
Yes, Ricky.
I'd want to see that feud. I mean, yeah, because I don't think I was as disappointed as you guys because I didn't see it when it happened when they started it, and it's like, oh look, it's gonna be Jericho Miz. Oh, never mind. But yeah, if they each have a win over each other, I'm surprised it is still going. They probably just don't have anything to do with them, so they're like, just keep that going. There we go.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Stay the course.
Yeah. Now, I will say Marcus has a couple of more notes, but the last thing I was interested in is almost the last two segments of Raw, so it's
Okay.
up to you if you've got anything in between.
Let's see. What do we got here? There was a not very good six-man tag match between Reigns, Sheamus, and RVD versus Orton and Ryback. It ended with a spot fest. People hit a bunch of finishers. RVD got a win on Axel with a kick to the face and a 5-star.
Yep, that's here, and Marcus says match was actually pretty good. I want to put his comment out there for him.
Fair enough. I thought it was okay.
On
It
the
wasn't anything. It wasn't anything exceptional. It was okay.
Like I said, I just wanted to put Marcus's comment out there on the line.
The Spot Fest was cool. I will say I was kind of shocked they ended it with freaking RVD getting a pin on Axel. Seemed kind of random, but sure, why not? I have Flair slash Orton. What?
How is RVD pinning someone in a matchup in which he's in considered random?
Well, given that RVD is the guy that's not in a feud with anybody. It just seemed kind of random that he would get the pin instead of somebody getting a pin to continue the feud.
Yeah, which means he's not in a feud, which means they wanted to give him something to do. He gets the victory, the others continue their feud.
Fair enough, that works. I have Flair / Orton. I don't know why.
I don't know, is it your new fanfic?
I don't know. I feel like the two of them had a confrontation in the back, and I think Flair talked some crap to Orton or something.
He did, and Orton was basically to him of the lines of, hey, if you continue, you're going to find out why they used to call me the Legend Killer.
Yes, that's right.
And Ric Flair said to him, yeah, well, if you keep looking at me with those eyes, you're going to find out why they call me the dirtiest player in the game. Meow. It's possible that bit was non-canon.
It's possible.
And
After
then
that,
Orton goes, yeah, well, you know, when Orton goes, yeah, well, you know what? What? And he adjusts his shorts and goes, do you want to find out why they call me the Viper? Your turn, Rick. Do an
Woo!
Yeah, he was trying to woo him.
I'm gonna call you the limo.
Randy Orton gives him anal sex. Flair blades.
Nice.
there you go. Then after that, because Jericho did one earlier, we have to have the complimentary Bray Wyatt promo.
Yep.
And Bray Wyatt basically just stands in the back and talks about, oh, Chris Jericho, you say you see nothing in my eyes, Chris Jericho. Well, you're right. Maybe there is emptiness. Maybe I don't have a soul. But what I do have is something like, I don't know, the spirits of all these people or some shit like that. No, they follow me now, Chris Jericho. I am the new savior.
Based on what Jim just said, no singing, Jim. But based on what Jim just said, do you know what I was thinking, Rick, would be perfect for this feud?
What?
Well, you say I have nothing in my eyes, Jericho. Well, take a look at the new member, the Wyatt. Look in my eyes, what do you see? Calls her personality, and it just goes on with Punk coming out with the beard.
That'd be hilarious. Then we had was actually a good match. It was the Usos versus, apparently we're calling them the Dust Brothers now. That's what the commentators were going with. So
Marcus just refers to them as the Dusts.
Fair enough, the Dust. That was actually a pretty good match. At one point, JBL called them the Dust Brusters. Some kind of combination of brothers and busters, called them the Dust Brusters. Stardust got the win for that match. That was a pretty good match between the two teams, and I knew it would be.
I'm also assuming you missed the point of that's a parody.
I know.
I just thought you need to address that bit. You can't say he just called them Dustbusters just because of that. No, he called them that because of the Dustbuster.
Yeah, I know. So that happened. What else we got here? I don't know. I didn't understand the purpose of this. Basically, Rusev and Lana came out. They talked some Russian crap for about 2 minutes as they were going on about, Russia this, and to say that, yes, our leader, Vladimir Putin, somebody go and get the ass kicked. And basically, Mark Henry walked out, basically said, I'm tired of your crap, and you're going to get a guided tour of the Hall of Pain, and then he World's Strongest slammed Rusev. Yay. Like, okay, wow, way to bury the dude that you've been building up for weeks and weeks and weeks.
That's not just it. Mark Henry also mentioned the fact he represented America twice in the Olympics. So talk about America really doesn't sit well with him. Which means, yeah, I don't like that. If Mark Henry wins this feud, I'm going to be pissed. Rusev should win because he's the young guy. Mark Henry has absolutely nothing to gain from this feud.
I don't know if there's even going to be a feud because Mark Henry's supposed to be teaming with Big Show in a feud, in a tag team feud. So what the hell?
Yeah, my guess is this is going to lead into a Mark Henry feud.
Maybe.
With Rusev.
That's possible.
For like a month.
Yeah. Am I the only one? Given where Rusev's going, am I the only one that want them to build it up and wants Rusev to be the Iron Sheik to Roman Reigns, Hulk Hogan?
I still want Damien Sandow to come out as Mr. America.
Yes.
While Hulk Hogan's on Raw. And have Hulk Hogan play with it by turning to Sandow, then turning to the audience and go, see, I told you I wasn't Mr. America. As if we couldn't tell the difference.
So that happened, and then if you want to go into the final segment, go ahead, Mo.
Yeah. About it will never happen because I don't think he can wrestle anymore. Blah blah blah. You know who with this? You know what I was kind of hoping. And this might just be the old school in me.
What?
As much as I didn't like this gimmick, I kind of want the Lex Express to come back, and I want All American Lex to come out and just fucking body slam Rusev.
There you go.
I liked Lex, damn it.
I thought they might do it at the flag match at SummerSlam. I'm still waiting for the day when they come out there and they do the rush thing and they play the anthem and Nikolai Volkov comes out and sings the anthem.
But the last segment was Ambrose versus Roland
Yep.
in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Roland wins, according to Marcus's notes. Roland wins because he takes Ambrose out via curb stomp through a pile of concrete blocks. Ref called the match, saying that Rollins went too far. Also, chokeslam and curb stomp to Ambrose into Spanish announce tables, which didn't break, as he put all in capitals.
Yeah.
And Rollins powerbombed Ambrose into the pile of chairs in the middle of the ring. Okay,
Yes.
that was Marcus's notes. My thing with this, why the fuck did Kane bring out the bricks? I mean, people have argued, well, it's so Rollins could curb stomp, and I'm like, yes, but he didn't know he was going to end up in that spot, and even if he did, the stairs are right there. You never see Kane come down to the ringside with a ton of bricks. This made almost no sense to me. It almost irked me.
Yeah. It was kind of out there. And I will say, Rick, just for the record, they did shatter, and it was very obvious that these were actually made of plaster. They crumbled. They turned to powder. Anyway, yeah.
They were traditional WWE cement box.
Yeah.
They've always powdered like that whenever someone hit some of it.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, I will say the powerbomb on the pile of chairs was kind of awesome. But yeah, the whole thing was, we're going to take Ambrose out or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That was a little iffy. And yeah, go ahead.
So you go.
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
There was also mentioned that the medics helped Ambrose out of there, but it was mentioned afterward that Ambrose refused medical treatment and then disappeared into the night.
Fair enough, but I'm going to say, I'm kind of sick of these two. I like the idea of them feuding. It was cool when it was Dean Ambrose attacking Seth Rollins until he emerged out of his car. But it was cool when he was attacking him in new creative ways. But because Seth Rollins is the authority's guy, shouldn't they be trying to send heels after Ambrose, him overcoming the heels to then build him up to eventually face Seth Rollins so it seems huge when he finally gets his hands on him? It's not the same if they face each other every fucking week.
True.
At least to me, that isn't. It's like I kind of get bored when you see people fight every single week as their feud. That doesn't work to me.
True.
But no, what do you think, Ricky? Rickmeister? The old Rickatui?
Ricko-Rama.
About which part in particular is sending guys after him, so it's so their confrontation isn't every week, or
about the whole part about I don't like if it's the same two people having a match every fucking week.
Yeah, well, it also, considering that's supposed to be, the main part of it, it's kind of silly if they fight each other all the time. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's like, oh, at the pay-per-view they're gonna do it slightly differently, and you're like, oh, like, no, it's
Yeah, I think it will be good. It will be good if they were letting the two of them actually wrestle, because they're both talented and great in the ring. But there's so much gimmick shit going on around them that they're not allowed to fucking do anything.
Yeah, they've also made a massive mistake, in my opinion, with when they started the feud.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it like this, Jim. They started it around SummerSlamish.
Yeah.
They could have had it build up. Then the authorities like, no, you can't get your hands on Seth Rollins. Instead, you must face Kane. So Dean Ambrose has to face Kane. Seth Rollins will interfere in the matchup. Similar thing, different heel. This pay-per-view as well, sort of like they used to do with back in the day when they used to, like, Austin wanted to get his hands on McMahon, let's say, and they'd put him against a load of heels leading into he gets McMahon.
Yeah.
Then have Seth Rollins, and then have the Triple H go, no, you know what? I'm hanging above the ring. Dean Ambrose is on a contract. If you lose, you're fired. If you win, you get any match you want. Boom, Dean Ambrose wins. Leading into the pay-per-view after next, where he goes, okay, I want Seth Rollins. Hell in a Cell. Boom. It's officially, the feud's now huge. Those two going into Hell in a Cell seems huge. And oh my god, the Authority can't interfere. It's a Hell in a Cell. They've actually got their hands on it. It's perfect. Instead of this. At least that's how I would have built up the feud. I'm sorry if that seems too silly or too armchair booking, as people say, or something like that, but that's how I would have done it. But I don't know if you two like that idea, or if that seems kind of silly. Fair enough. Back to our lovely co-host, or lovely host.
All right, so that was all the Raw stuff, and we don't have SmackDown. So next, it will be main event.
Indeed. So, first main event coverage for me. First time watching main event. It was okay, I guess. It was the night of slow, boring matches, and one match that was okay. But first of all, the commentary team tonight was Michael Cole and Byron Saxton, interestingly. The first time those two ever worked together on commentary. It didn't work. I think their chemistry, they started warming up a little bit as the show went on, but I don't think those two have that much chemistry without a third person there to bounce off of. I don't think it works too well with the two of them.
That's why we have Rick.
Exactly. So the first match of the night was Sheamus versus Curtis Axel in a one-on-one non-title match. And during the course of this match, it was determined that due to the WWE Network now being available in over 170 or 90 or however many it is countries, that we needed some international flair on commentary, and it needed to be in 5 languages. So
Flair? Does that mean Wade Barrett came out dressed as Ric Flair?
That would be amazing.
And they had like an Australian Flair?
No. And that means that, of course, Cesaro came out to speak a variety of languages, and to scout Jack Swagger, of course, after he fought him on Raw. So Cesaro came out, and Byron Saxton did a little good job talking up Cesaro a little bit about, he's an impressive guy, blah, blah. And Michael Cole tried to face it up by talking to Cesaro, like, you were the match with Swagger, or not, with Sheamus, rather. You've been in matches with Sheamus before. He came out to scout Sheamus, because he's going for the title soon. He said, you've been in matches with Sheamus before. You know what those clubbing blows to the chest feel like. How did they feel, Cesaro? How do they feel? You felt that bro kick before, Cesaro. How did that feel, huh? How did it feel? How does that feel, Cesaro? Why don't you tell us? Like, okay, Cole, calm the fuck down. Like, you don't need to be screaming at Cesaro. Like, Cesaro's doing a great job on commentary, healing it up and throwing in some languages and making some funny jokes. You don't need to ruin it. Calm down. So that was okay, I guess. The match was not terrible. I mean, Sheamus is a pretty talented wrestler. Curtis Axel's okay, I guess. It was not bad. It was a little slow. They were doing a lot of exchanging of holds, but they got moving up. They started throwing some blows. Sheamus won it with a bro kick. Nothing special. But I will note that for the vast majority, one thing that threw me off, though, for the vast majority of this match, the commentary had nothing to do with the fucking match, to the point that I was paying attention to the commentary and not the match. And I'm like, there's something wrong here. Because they're going off with the commentary talking about Cesaro, and he fought Jack Swagger last week and on Raw and shit. And they're going off on this whole thing with Cesaro about his different languages that he uses. And all this language, Michael Cole, don't tell me what to speak German. I'll speak German when I feel like speaking German. And freaking Byron Saxton, I think, actually tells him he could speak some Swedish. He's like, I am not Swedish, you idiot. I am Swiss. Get it right. And they're going back with all about Cesaro. Like, you guys know there's a match going on, right? And they did come back to the match at one point near the end of it. And Cole jumped back in. It's there's Sheamus or whatever. But it's like, you just literally. Okay, commentary is okay when you have, you're trying to build up other things like, okay, Cesaro's going to eventually challenge Sheamus, fair enough, but not when it's completely distracting me from the match. That's bad commentary.
To be fair, when they comment on the match, they get the moves wrong a load of times, and
True.
It's crap anyway. Main event, When you're watching main event, it's main event seems to me, from bits I've seen and stuff like that, it always seems to be like the old Velocity and stuff where they know people watching this don't really give a crap about hearing what the commentary says to do about the match, because you're either enjoying the match or if you're not, you just want to be entertained in general. It's just like an extra entertainment, so they can go
Fair enough.
more loosey goosey with it, as people would say.
Fair enough. So after that match, we had a commercial for the Leprechaun Origins movie, which looks stupid.
I look forward to the Showtime review.
Yes, it should be good. So actually, the commercial's in the middle of the match. Actually, I should mention that.
Sorry, the Shadows More review.
Yes. So the Leprechaun Origins commercial's in the middle. They came back. Sheamus wins off the bro kick. Like I said, it was okay. It wasn't 5 stars, but it was better than most of the Divas matches I've seen recently. So I guess that's something. It was okay. After the match, Cesaro went over and picked up Sheamus' United States title and looked at it, kind of admiring it, and kind of held it up, and then I think he passed it to Sheamus in the ring, or just he left it on the ring or something. So they're building some kind of a Sheamus-Cesaro feud going on here.
Yep.
So I could see that being a good feud. Those guys are both decent in the ring, Cesaro especially. So that happened.
I knew they were definitely building a feud with those two, because do you remember the panel for the roster reveal?
Yeah.
The whole time those two were bickering about those two wanting to face each other and how likely it is that they respect each other, they take each other as tag team partners, but they kind of hate each other and they want to face each other, to the point where Austin, Hogan, Sting, and I think Renee all made jokes at one point or another about the and even Cena, I think, about the fact those two were just bickering like a married couple.
Yeah, and that was one thing I will give Cesaro credit for. Is while he was on commentary, he was talking up Sheamus, despite he talked to Sheamus like when he was not being harassed by Michael Cole. He's like, I've been in the ring with Sheamus. You got to be careful with Sheamus like this. He's he's all about the forward motion. If he gets moving like this, you're going to be in trouble. You have to use his momentum against him. He's a big, strong guy. He's going to come flying at you with arms and legs, and you got to be careful with that. Whereas Curtis Axel is more of a what do you say? More of a not a plotter or a schemer, but more of a technician, I guess.
His legacy.
Well, that, yeah, but not that. That's that too, but no. Cesaro did a great job putting over Sheamus. One point even said it right. Look, I never said anything about Sheamus being a bad wrestler. I think Sheamus is a great competitor in the ring. He's a big, strong guy. I admire him a lot. I just don't like the guy.
Yeah.
He said it outright. I'm like, that's very admirable. Very nice.
Yeah.
So, fair enough. So that happened. After this, we had a breaking announcement from Triple H that Michael Cole had to interrupt everything for. And we cut to the back where Triple H, in an obviously pre-recorded segment, proceeded to announce that they received a letter from John Cena informing him that he would like to invoke his rematch clause for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The said letter was forwarded to the champion. The champion has accepted, and so coming up September 21st at the Night of Champions pay-per-view, there will be a rematch for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, in which the champion Brock Lesnar will defend against John Cena.
I have to ask, if they replied to him in the same format, would that be considered a Dear John letter?
Ha!
That's a horrible pun.
That is a terrible pun.
But it's accurate too.
It is. And all about Dear John letters, you'll have to ask Kimberly Hart. Power Rangers joke for the win. Anyway. So Triple H made this announcement, and of course this had to result in Michael Cole talking the importance of this announcement up about 5 times over the course of the next 45 minutes. It's like, okay, we get it. We've been here. If we're watching this on the network, we're clearly not going to randomly leave in the middle of it. We know. You're not going to randomly get fans in the middle of the show.
You could do.
I guess at the point that it's airing live, yeah, but how many people are going to watch it live, really? So the announcement happened. Then we had a nice promo recap of the Brie Stephanie feud and of Nikki's betrayal over the last couple of weeks here. Then we threw to a Paul Heyman DVD commercial. And then we came back to an absolutely terrible match. I would say the worst match of the night, because we had to witness Nikki Bella versus Emma.
I could see that being good.
It wasn't.
No, I mean, I could have seen that being good, because Emma can be good when they let her wrestle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I know Nikki's not terrible like people say she is.
Mm-hmm. She's just ugly.
I know. She's not ugly. We just joke that she's the ugly Bella. There's a difference.
Fair enough. But really, I didn't notice. And the SummerSlam, they also replayed part of the SummerSlam promo at the opening of this show. Were they really calling Brie the Bella of the Ball? Really? I missed that.
I'm sorry, I like that.
I like it's like Bella of the Ball. I did like the billionaire baroness though. That sounded kind of badass. I like that.
I like the billionaire baroness. That does sound cool. What do you think of that nickname, Rick?
Yeah, what do you think, Rick? I think we lost the Hammy one.
Sorry, it was muted. I was gonna say I like it better than Bella of the Ball.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we noted that I think last week, but during the SummerSlam thing, they seem to have changed Stephanie's nickname from the $1 billion princess to the billionaire baroness.
Although that does sound kind of cool, though it does sound like a G.I. Joe villain. It's a recolor of the Baroness. Oh no, you got the one in the black. This is the billionaire Baroness figure. It's the gold one.
Yes.
Anyway,
speaking of gold divas, back to Jim.
Thank you. So yeah, it was not a good match. Emma was kind of sloppy as hell. I don't know if that was because Nikki wasn't helping her much. I don't know what the hell happened, but it was not a good match. The purpose of this match, it lasted all of 5 minutes. It was basically for Nikki Bella to beat her up and get a win and look strong. That was the only point of this match. It accomplished that goal, and I will say Cole and Byron Saxton did do a very good job of putting Nikki over on the commentary, talking about the betrayal. There was a pretty good back and forth where Michael Cole was talking about how, Nikki Bella, just turn her back on Brie and everything else. Byron Saxton's like, well, you know what? She, all these years, everything's only been about Brie and everything, and he really did a good job presenting Nikki's side of it. So at that point, the commentary actually got good for a few minutes. That was the only tolerable part of the match.
I would also possibly argue maybe the reason Emma was sloppy is because she had Santino-ism, if that makes sense. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean they partnered her with Santino. She was great on NXT. They partnered her with Santino, and all she ever did was dance and do like little funny bits and not wrestle. Therefore, chances are she's going to be a little rusty, if that makes sense, because they sort of waste her potential.
True, and she came out doing the stupid hand thing. Yeah. Anyway, but I will say the facepalm highlight of this match was Nikki Bella fucking up the pinfall. Because Nikki Bella hit I guess it's her, I don't know what the hell she calls her finisher, but she picked Emma up over her shoulders facing backward and then just kind of slammed her on the mat. I guess that's her finisher now. I don't know. I've never seen her actually use anything other than a roll-up. Anyway, nothing against your finisher, Richter.
Thank you.
Anyway,
it's a good finisher.
So Nikki Bella apparently has apparently no ring presence whatsoever because she hits the finisher, goes for a pinfall, and the ref has to tell her 3 times, "I can't count it. Your feet are under the ropes, you dumb bitch."
Does he actually say it in those exact words?
He should have, but he's like, feet are under the ropes. Feet are under the ropes. He said it like 2 or 3 times, and finally she realized, and she pulled her feet and he got the pinfall. I'm like, wow, Nikki, you are a terrible wrestler if you don't know where the ropes are.
She never learned to mind her surroundings.
Evidently not.
Yeah. Nice.
Anyway, so that happened, and that was But then it got better because then we got Renee, who was doing an interview with the Big Show and Mark Henry. Big Show was talking about he was excited about this. Big Show, they've been advertising the main event of the evening is a one-on-one match between Big Show and Eric Rowan from the Wyatts. And Big Show talking about he's excited about the match and to be in the ring with somebody who has the same athleticism and power that he has, which is not something he gets to wrestle with very often. He says, and Big Joe,
athleticism was the Big Show. What? So a broom?
Yeah, pretty much. And Big Show makes a joke to Mark Henry, like, Mark, maybe I'll break out some luchador moves. And Mark Henry's just like, no, just stick with the punch. He's like, stick with the wham? All right, you heard the man. I'm sticking with the wham. And he basically,
if he did a 619, I would be impressed.
That would be impressive. Henry says, all right. So Mark Henry says, let's go out there, let's get a win, and let's go get something to eat. Big Show's like, all right, let's go. We're going to get something to eat. And they walk out, and Mark Henry stops and comes back to the mic second, and and if Harper decides to put something in tonight, I'm gonna put something in his face. And he walks out. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
So that's a thing. So that happened. So then we got the aforementioned commercial for the WWE Network. I don't know if you were here for that when I mentioned that, Richter. But there was I was debating whether I wanted to like this commercial, but I was also debating like if I should be slightly offended by this. Because they did this badass promo where they started showing some clips of dudes, where they do the different color gradients over them, and they're kind of in slow motion showing cool clips.
Right.
Show different clips of things going on and cool stuff. And over the top of this, they're playing Ultimate Warrior's sort of speech from Raw before he died.
Oh, wow.
And they're playing this speech all like, every man, when his breath beats, he takes his last breath, and his heart beats his last beat. And the promo's going on, and you see the guys, then like the current guys like Cena and Orton, but then you see like, there's Hogan and Austin and Ultimate Warrior himself and different dudes doing stuff. And they show this quote, like, it's kind of I don't know what this is for, but it's kind of a badass promo. I like how they use the Ultimate Warrior thing, and then you can see the promo actually just WWE Network, $9.99. Like, wow, that seems slightly exploitive of the Ultimate Warrior's memory. But as Mo pointed out to me, Warrior and his family were on very good terms with WWE, so they'd probably be cool with it.
And it's only $9.99.
And it's only $9.99.
Yeah.
For 6 pay-per-views.
Huh. Now you can watch the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior documentary, just $9.99.
Oops.
I'm assuming that's not on there.
I hope not.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, exactly.
Oh, I hope it is.
Yeah. Anyway. So after the interview and the commercial, we then come back for the one match that I actually kind of liked, even though I shouldn't have because part of it was very stupid. Here's this match. The match was Los Matadores. Well, first of all, let me talk about. First of all, their opponents that came out first, the new team of Slater and Gator. It's Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil are a tag team now. They're called Slater and Gator. Gator because Titus O'Neil is from Florida. That's
Gotcha.
their justification for the rhyming name. So Slater and Gator came out, and they were kind of taunting in the ring and doing some moves. And their opponents are Los Matadores. Because apparently Francisco is not injured anymore. So Los Matadores came out, and they did their Olay thing, and they did the capes, and El Torito right out from the capes. But then people weren't sure what was going on. And they put the capes back in the center again. Like, wait, what's going on? And as they put the capes back and pull the capes back out again, who should run out but La Vaquita? A.K.A. the little cow, a.k.a. Hornswoggle in a cow suit. I'm like, okay, that's kind of stupid. But, despite Hornswoggle in a cow suit running around and Michael Cole making really stupid cow puns the entire match...
Oh, come on, dude. Don't have a cow, man.
He used that one. Byron Saxton, too.
It had to.
Yeah, he used that one. And there's a joke about Hornswoggle playing with his udders or something. I don't know.
Okay,
Anyways.
let's just move on.
Yeah, pretty much. Despite the
No
Tony
need to milk it.
Nah,
Nice.
there you go. But yes, despite the presence of the little bull and the little cow, the match was actually competitive and not bad. Titus got in some nice power moves, throwing one of the luchadors around, but the luchadors came back with some off the top rope flying moves. Heath Slater did some quick back and forth with them. It was actually pretty competitive. And, shock of shocks, the streak continues. Heath Slater picks up a win.
So technically, with the fact that cows are female and bulls are the male,
Right.
Hornswoggle was dressing as the female by dressing as the cow. Shouldn't that have been like Looney Tunes whenever Bugs Bunny dressed up as a female to distract someone?
It should have been. It should have been. So, yeah, that was a thing. So anyway, yeah, Heath Slater picks up a... first of all, one thing I will mention in here is that there was one point where Slater sold a move very well that I was just like, oh, good God. There was a point where one of the Matadores had Slater.
And he sold it for just $9.99.
He did. But he hit Slater, and he hit Slater with this. Slater went off one of the Matadores threw Slater off the ropes, and he picked him up for a pancake face plant. And as he picked him up, I don't know, there's a lot of impact on it because like boom, and Slater like bounced off the mat and landed on his back. I'm like, oh, good God, that looked like it hurt. So props to Slater for selling that move. And I was like, Slater picked up the win with a very nice implant DDT where he picked up the Matador and then DDT'd him. So that was cool. I like that move. So Slater gets another victory, and Heath Slater's winning streak continues. So good for Heath Slater, I guess.
Nice.
Although I will say, WWE, you need to learn to change the theme music, because I realized I didn't see, because they came out during the commercial, so we didn't actually see them come out. But when the music played at the end of the match, because Slater won, they started playing his music. But then I listened to it, and I realized his music is still, "We're a three-man band." I'm like, no, you're a one-man band again. You should probably go back to your old theme music.
2-man if you include Gator.
True, Gator's more than one of the men. Anyway, so that
3
happened.
if you include the little cow.
4 if you include, yeah. The little cow should be in the net. Anyway, so after the match, we cut to the back where Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are cutting a very, very quick and very effective promo.
One last question I'd have to ask.
Uh-huh.
Based on his name, shouldn't he have been a bull because he's Hornswoggle?
Ah. You would think. You would think.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, a very good promo by Harper and Rowan. They made it smart. They kept it very, very short, and Harper did the talking, and it was really pretty good. Basically, Harper just does Harper does a very good Bray Wyatt style promo. I like it when he does the promos too, because he's very good. He's got that soft, quiet voice. It's just kind of eerie. He's like, he taught us that in order to be saved, you must first pay for your sins. Tonight, Big Show. Or tonight, you pay for yours. And I just panned over to the Go Face and you just heard Rowan under the mask. Big Show. Run. Huh. And the thing cut and went to the commercial. I'm like, that was very effective. I like that. I like the very short, quick promos. I like that. So then we had a WWE shop commercial. Into the jungle. I like that song. So we cut back from the commercial, and Cole throws to several long minutes of footage recapping the Ambrose-Rollins feud for the purpose of a very non-relevant purpose coming up here. So they recap this feud because they're going to interview Seth Rollins. That's the extent of the reason to recap this feud. Seth Rollins is interviewed by Renee in the back. And Renee asked him for an explanation about the whole cement blocks thing. And he goes, I didn't choose that stipulation. Dean Ambrose chose that stipulation. Falls count anywhere, where anything goes. And that was the point where I wanted to hit my head into a wall. That's not how that match works, you idiot. I know that's how WWE thinks it works, but that's not how that clearly just proved that WWE does not know what the meaning of a Falls count anywhere match is. Which is stupid, because clearly you do understand the meaning of a Falls count anywhere match, because it's not the fucking game and it works properly.
In a Falls count anywhere match, can't you hit people with weapons in the game too?
Can you? I didn't think you could. I thought it was just pin people anywhere. Maybe they can. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it's fucked up in the game too. Either way, that's not how that match is supposed to work. Anyway, so basically, anything anywhere goes. Anything goes. And Rollins adds bullshit because match rules don't matter. About anything else, and basically that's bullshit. So he says, he talks about the match rules don't matter. And I was going to beat Ambrose no matter what happened. And he mentions how all the faces lost at SummerSlam, which interesting thing to note. Because I think the only reason why Ziggler got the titles because they realized if Ziggler loses to Miz, all the heels are winning tonight. That's not going to be good. So anyway, he mentions that. He mentions that.
So Orton was a face?
Did Orton beat him? I thought Reigns won.
Reigns did win, but I thought you mentioned you just said all the heels would win.
You're right. You're right. That was another one. You're right. When he mentioned, Cena got decimated by Brock Lesnar. Brie Bella lost to Stephanie. Brie Bella lost to Stephanie. He mentioned what was another one that happened that night?
Paige beat AJ.
Yeah, there was another relevant one maybe that's what he mentioned.
That's relevant.
It is. Maybe that's what he mentioned. I feel like he mentioned something. I think he mentioned he mentioned that Bray Wyatt beat Jericho. And but you know who really lost at SummerSlam? Jack Swagger. I mean, he let down an entire country. I mean, good God. He starts talking some trash about him. And sure enough, camera pans slightly to the left, and there's Jack Swagger staring at him.
With a single tear going down his face.
Exactly. And Swagger basically, he basically says, He basically says, why don't you come up here and say that to my face? Or are you scared that you don't have Big Bad Kane standing behind you? And Rollins goes, "Oh, really, are you scared now that you don't have Grandpa standing behind you?" And they go back and forth. That basically, Swagger's like, "Why don't you and I settle this in the ring?" And Rollins is like, "All right, Swagger, I'll face you in a match."
Can I
But
make
not
a? So you go.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I make a weird prediction?
Sure.
Swagger's gonna start teaming with Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
Because based on what happened with Raw, with both Dallas giving him a similar speech, with all the harassment that like JBL's been giving him on commentary, with people mentioning like he let down the country and stuff, it stands to reason that Swagger will eventually turn around and say, you know what, when I lost a matchup and America turned on me, I'm turning my back on you. And joins Rusev.
That could be interesting. I can
It
see
might
that
not
working.
happen. It might not happen. It's just that seemed
That could
like it could be
that could work. That would be all Iraqi sympathizer Sergeant Slaughter. Anyway, so at the end of the interview, Rollins says, "All right, I'll fight you, Swagger, but not tonight. This Friday on SmackDown, we're gonna step into the ring together, and after I beat you, maybe you can go hang out with Dean Ambrose on the missing persons list." I'm like, okay, booked a match for SmackDown, fair enough. So they did that. Then there was a commercial for Slam City, which was pretty funny. And then we get to the main event, which was Big Show with Mark Henry in his corner versus Eric Rowan with Luke Harper in his corner. The audience was completely dead for this match. They did not give a shit. The only point at which the audience gave a crap for this match was a point where Rowan went off the rope and Big Show booted him in the face really hard, and everybody was like, "Ooh!" That was the only point in time that the crowd popped anything for this match. They did not give a shit. Show dominated Eric Rowan for most of the beginning of the match. Rowan came back. It was a slow big guy match. I mean, you can't say it was. I mean, it was. You could say it was a bad match, but it was a match that these guys are capable of given their size. So, Rowan starts coming back with some attacks on Big Show's left knee. Starts targeting the knee. He does some. Rowan does the weirdest submission move I've ever seen. I've never seen the submission move before, where he gets on Big Show and he takes his two fists and he presses his fist into either side of Big Show's head from behind, like pressing the fist in the head. I'm like, is that a submission move? Like, apparently it is. Okay then. So he applies that move several times, and Henry. The only other time the crowd got a reaction was when Mark Henry started banging on the stairs, trying to get Big Show to get up after the two men clotheslined each other and went down, and the crowd was going like, "Let's go, Big Show." And they got into it for just a second, but then it died right back out again. And after a slow, boring match, although there was one impressive thing where Rowan body slammed the Big Show again, so that was impressive. So he body slammed the Big Show, got a near fall. And after what had been a fairly slow match in which mostly Big Show at the beginning and Rowan dominated for a good chunk of the match, Big Show just out of nowhere, boom, WMD, victory. So, it was okay. It was a big guy match. You can't expect, it's a standard big guy match. Nobody expected it to be a technical masterpiece, so it was acceptable. It was a decent main event. And that was the end of their main event.
Nice.
Indeed.
So now on to Total Divas and NXT.
Indeed.
Cool. I'll go with NXT first.
Yeah, not necessarily in that order.
Yes. I'll go with NXT first. I'll keep it short, but NXT. No, we've officially caught up to you guys. We have the new logo with the now then forever and all that crap, and it's literally this week's NXT for you guys. So
Nice.
I'm up to date.
Yay.
I'm hardcore.
I'm
Commentators
up to date. I'm up to date.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
am.
by the way, Richard, we had a thing going where I wonder what Mole said. Mole heard about somebody mention this. They said that the new logo at the beginning of every show should be WWE. Then, now, forever, $9.99.
Yes.
But yeah, commentators this week: Byron Saxon, Tom Phillips, and Renee Young. And I will say I like those three together. NXT, they fall into the same category that like William Regal and stuff did when they were doing the NXT stuff. The NXT commentators are always more, laid back and joking, and they're free to pick a side regardless of heel face alignment.
Right.
which is kind of cool. We had a matchup of Colin Cassidy and Enzo Amore versus the Vaudevillains. It's part of the tournament to see who will face the Ascension. It was fun because it was a great match, but I absolutely loved the fact Renee on commentary says, I love the Vaudevillains. I want to put on a fake beard and join them as one of those, like, I don't know, bearded, like, female things. And one of the commentators goes, you mean a bearded lady? And she goes, it doesn't matter, I just want to join them. Which I was like, that's kind of cool. I'd pay to see her put on a fake beard and join them. That'd be amazing.
It would.
But at the end of the matchup, after the Vaudevillains won, Colin and Enzo got attacked by the Legionnaires.
Ooh.
So that happened.
Fair
Cut
enough.
to Triple H coming out, announcing it's time for NXT to take over again. September the 11th, NXT will take over with a 2-hour live special. And the new GM will be here next week.
Ooh.
That's right. I have a new GM on my segment, Jim. What did you have? Oh, Big Show Mark Hamill. How interesting.
If you want to be a dick like that, I could be a dick, and I'll just spoil who the new general manager is for you.
To be fair, that wouldn't surprise me. You do that anyway.
Oh.
But we had Tyson Kidd versus Tyler Breeze. Tyler leaves after Tyson knocks him outside, saying, I don't need this, grabs his phone and leaves, which is funny as hell. We had Charlotte as champion versus Becky Lynch. And Charlotte wins a great match. And Charlotte actually wins with a great match. She won with a cutter. And the final was Adam Rose and Sami Zayn versus Sin Cara and Kalisto. With Sin and Cal winning. I like the team of Sin Cara and Kalisto. They actually match up pretty damn well. There was other segments on there, but they only did what we were supposed to and wrote the stuff that I thought was interesting. But I like that. It was a pretty solid NXT.
Fair enough.
And Total Divas, I'm not going to go in exact order because I've grouped everything together in terms of story.
Okay.
But just because this kind of relates to two at once, it opened up with Nikki Bella and Natalia shopping for sexy underwear for their men. And I mean that, and they put for their men. And what I mean by that is they were buying bras and panties. They were not not out saying, oh yeah, there's a sexy Speedo, I want to buy that for John or something. Just in case, you know what I mean? 'Cause that term that could have been confusing. I realised that. So first one I'll mention is they bleeped out restaurant names, which is kind of funny, with Natalia saying she wants to go eat. And she's like, come on, I want to go eat at the restaurant. They got the new one down the road. Beep, 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 beep. I heard the food there is pretty nice. And I'm like, wow, she swears like a whore.
I'm not eating there.
Yeah. Yeah, but Natalia says she feels not pretty as Tyson Kidd keeps ignoring her. Even when she puts on her new bra and panties and walks in, he still just goes, oh, what are you wearing that for? And she goes, well, I'm just am. He's like, oh, okay. And just goes back to watching the wrestling on TV. And she goes, but why are you watching that? And he goes, well, it was just cost me $9.99. Okay, no, that bit didn't happen. That didn't, but she did when it did cut to, you know, like they do on reality TV where it's like the segment where they talk to the camera. Mm-hmm. And Natalia mentioned that she really feels that she can't get Tyson to notice her. The only way he'd notice her is if he was to dress as Daniel Bryan or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Natalia says she plans a small wedding with him. And he goes, oh, okay, how small? And then she goes, 150 people. I agree with Tyson Kidd, not that small.
Yeah.
Tyson tries to make it better, after Natalia gives him crap about how he's not romantic a little bit. She gives him a little crap. He's like, come on, you know what I want. And she mentions about being a little bit more romantic. So Tyson Kidd tries to make it better. And he drives her to a lovely surprise. A courthouse to get married. That did not help. Natalia snaps, and Tyson Kidd can't understand why. She then returns home to candles, wine, rose petals, and Titan says, "Look, I'm not psychic. I realize where I've gone wrong now. If you want romance, just tell me you want romance. I'm not psychic." And they make up. They decide to have the wedding on the beach with Tyson's cat as ring bearer.
Nice.
That's kind of important because she'd mentioned how much he cares for the cat, and when they were arguing, she even screamed at him, you care more about that fucking cat than you do me." And when she said, "You care more about that beep cat than you do me," I thought, oh, okay, so the cat's named after the restaurant.
Yeah.
But the reason I put that one there is because these two sort of bleed together with what I'm going to get to in a sec. But Funkadactyl Cameron wants a boob job. The other Funkadactyl does not want her to get a boob job. There's a scene where Jimmy
It's America's
Uso...
vote now.
Yeah. Vote now on WWE app. Big or small app. But a scene where Jimmy Uso wants to get into the car, but he can't, he's too afraid to get in properly because of her little dog. He thinks it's going to bite him. He then gets in and holds it, and the dog then goes to throw up. I guess it's racist. Cameron goes to a doctor and tries some boob jobs, and she tries them everywhere. She even sleeps with them on. Her boyfriend named the left one Janice, which she did not appreciate. She's like, how dare you sexualize me when I get big boobs? How dare you? They're clearly to improve my back support.
Wow.
No, she didn't actually say those sentences, but come on. She can't be saying, I want to get a boob job, then complain when her husband's like, oh, you got big boobs? Nice, honk, honk. Okay, he didn't actually go honk, honk in the middle of them, but...
He did, just not when the cameras were rolling.
Yeah, I was trying to do it on the app.
Trust me.
It's an
I did it into the camera for the phone and hoped that she knew.
Yeah, that's going to be an option on 2K14 with Connect. Put your face forward. But she gets them
only in the Hulk Hogan edition.
Yes, she gets them sewn into her costume. Then someone stole one of her boobs. Best sentence ever.
Okay then.
It turns out the Bellas did it as and I'm putting in brackets, joke, because they did feel a little mean-spirited. When they told Cena, he actually didn't find it funny. Can't believe how many times this show makes me give Cena props. He didn't find it funny, and he actually said, okay, while you guys are here ruining lives, I'm going to be over there doing my champion stuff, and walks off.
Nice.
Because literally Cameron had to go out there with like one boob filled with toilet paper and one jelly boob.
Wow.
But luckily, Cameron does come to the decision not to get a boob job because she decides she doesn't want one because she's a role model and she's worried about the message it would send to children. Which, hey, I'm actually supporting her on that one. I don't like the Funkadactyls, but great move, girl. So the final story. But I don't know what you guys think about the boob jobs, first of all.
I think they were really mean, but I like that Cena called them.
Yeah,
that assholes.
Destroying lives.
Yeah.
And I will also say, Jim, when I say what did you think about the boob jobs, noise.
Fair enough.
Could be misread. But the reason I put that one there is because she felt she needed a boob job because she felt like people, like when they were signing autographs with the Bellas, every guy that went there was staring at Nikki's chest and wasn't even acknowledging any of the other divas past Nikki.
Wow.
So yeah, she kind of felt she needed them, pressure and all that. And the next one though, this story actually annoyed the crap out of me. Nikki Bella's eating dinner. Eve Marie is looking at her Nikki's photos on Tumblr or Instagram, one of the two, and then she's like, "Oh my God, what? You don't want to look at this? Look at what?" And then she passes her the phone to look at it. But what the fuck? Why do people do that? FYI, why do people do that? Why do people say you don't want to look at this and then pass it on to look at?
The same reason that people take a bite of something like, oh, this is terrible, try this.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But yeah, but Nikki reads it. The fans have put messages like, "OMG, she's so the fat twin."
Ha.
So Bree decides to try and help Nikki detox to lose weight on like a juice diet. Nikki does not like health food. When she drinks one, when she drinks a health shake, she even says, "Oh, it's like I'm eating someone's garden." I kind of found that funny. Nikki started to feel grumpy and dizzy from hunger. Bree mentions people calling Nikki fat to her, and Nikki just snapped with, "I'm not fucking fat," and she actually beeped. I don't know. That sounds weird. She didn't go, "I'm not fucking fat." Beep. She actually.
No, I assumed it was like the Roadrunner. I'm not fucking fat. Meep, meep. And then ran off.
Yeah. No, she goes, "I'm not beeping fat." And she actually seemed really annoyed with it. Nikki started to get really upset later on when Bree brings it up again and starts to say, "Oh yeah, it just feels so good to be in this outfit and look like this. Oh yeah." Nikki starts to get really paranoid about her weight, runs back to her trailer, refuses to come out and covers herself up as she doesn't want to be in the bikini as she now feels fat. She feels when she takes the photo, people are going to look at her and say she's fat. Bree actually apologizes to Nikki and she starts to feel better. And when the people were like, "You two need to look the same and stuff," one of them, I think it was Nikki, actually said, "I think it's okay if the Bella twins don't look the same. With the Bella twins, not the Bella clones." Which I like that line, but yeah. So that happened, which yeah, the whole thing with Cameron's boobs and the whole thing with, oh my god, Nikki Bella is not fucking fat. I really fucking hate the fact people would go on like, what the fuck? You got nothing. People out there have nothing better to do than to go onto the Divas photo pages and Twitters and stuff and start to tell them you look fat. I'm pretty sure she's like half the weight of most of the people commenting, at least. I'm fat. She is not. But I don't know what you guys think about those two.
Well, I don't think she's fat.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's sadly the society we live in is like that, but makes me
really
sad.
wish it
but
was.
yeah,
I really wish it wasn't. It's like I mentioned before. Now, as people know, I have like a niece and nephew and stuff. My niece was when she was about 8, 9 years old. When she was about 8 or 9. Basically, she started to refuse to eat cakes or sweets and stuff at one point because she was worried it would make her fat. Because of the Nickelodeon shows like Victorious and stuff, where one of the girls was worried she was fat, and she looked like a fucking model.
wow.
That irritates the fuck out of me. That really does irritate the fuck out of me. A child should not be worried about that. Okay, fair enough if a child is actually genuinely like my size, okay, worry. But if children are supposed to eat cakes and sweets and laugh and play around and shit. What children do. It's what kids do, as Rick would say as a kid. It's what kids do. That's what Rick used to say, isn't it?
It's what Kid Rick do.
But I don't know. What does Jim think?
I don't know. It sounds like a lot of diva hoopla. That's kind of pointless. I mean, it's fun to see them outside the ring doing stuff, but it seems like a lot of this is like filler.
And the whole thing of the show and the whole thing on what he feels about people going on Instagram and stuff and telling divas they're fat, completely lost on Jim. Because
Well, no, that's
according to Jim, the society pressures of whether or not someone's fat and stuff, and like I mentioned with my niece, is just hoopla. Fair enough. You heard it there from the sexist guy who didn't even credit the women.
funny. Yeah. I mean, obviously that's bullshit. I meant the show in general, but obviously, I mean that sort of thing is bullshit about divas being fat. I mean, that kind of online harassment is bullshit. That kind of online harassment is the same reason Robert Williams' daughter quit Twitter. I mean, it's so sad that people online feel the need to do that to make themselves feel better, or whatever the fuck the reason is. No, there's no reason. Divas there are no fat divas. There never have been. Even the divas who are larger
Karma?
even the divas who are larger in stature, like Karma, are athletic and get a lot done in the ring.
Yeah. And I still don't think you should be calling them fat and stuff, and especially saying she's the fat twin. They're not fat. It made no fucking sense. But yeah, the whole. But yeah, the thing with
her boobs are fatter.
the thing with the show, Jim.
Yeah.
If you have to think, it doesn't. It's not meant to tie into the TV. It's just what the wrestlers are like in real life, with some of the training they go through and what they actually go through in real life. So you see like Natalia and Tyson Kidd with how they actually are as a couple and stuff, and some people find that interesting.
Fair enough. Although personally, I don't think anything on TV is really real life.
Fair enough. So therefore, you shouldn't be watching the news.
You know what I meant.
Did you?
Dun dun. Sorry.
Did I?
No, there is stuff on TV that's real, like reality TV. Some of it's staged, but some of it is actually supposed to be real, and it's cool to see the divas, what their actual personalities are like. It's cool to see the different pressures put on them, because I guarantee you, the Usos have never been told you're the fat twin.
Yeah, probably not.
I guarantee you, Cena's not walking around trying to get a boob job.
That might up his streak running into the storyline though.
Yeah, or because the more accurate one for guys would be, like the Funkadactyl had to put fake boobs there to see if she wanted them and keep them there. Mm-hmm. I doubt Cena's walking around with a fucking giant sock down his crotch. I don't think that happens much.
Well, of course not. He's wearing shorts. No one would tell the difference. If he had trunks on, that'd be a different story.
You can tell the difference in pants or shorts and stuff. If someone's had like a massive sock stuff down there, if you look close enough, you can see it.
I didn't know you looked that closely at John Cena.
I don't. I said if you looked close enough, and I just explained about people having huge penises. I understand you wouldn't understand a huge penis.
Well, think about it. What I know about that, I when I'm not around with you, I'm hanging around with Marcus Shadow. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I'm going to say James Phoenix's penis is as large as the Power Ranger budget.
Wow. Anyway, was that it for Total Divas?
Yeah, that was it. I was just wondering what you thought about the episode, but you seem to have completely ignored the episode until the end when I refreshed it on you, but still. I was there when you recapped every single part of main event.
Indeed.
Every part. You're supposed to be doing news, I think.
Indeed.
Yes. Time for the news.
Indeed.
Earlier. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Meanwhile, not that much news going on this week. I skipped it. There wasn't a whole lot. As we're noting in baby news, Stacy Keibler had a baby this week. Ava Grace Pobre is the name. Happy, healthy baby girl. And Christy Hemme revealed via Twitter that she herself is pregnant, 5.5 months pregnant specifically. So another former Diva baby coming soon too. Also, an interesting news coming because I know none of us watch this show, but it might be interesting to know that Tom Phillips, commentator for NXT, has officially joined the commentary team of SmackDown. He'll be joining Cole and JBL to form a 3-man announced team for SmackDown.
Of course, didn't they get rid of the other one? Isn't Josh gone?
Yeah, Josh Mathers has been gone a while, though. I figured they would have replaced him by now. Apparently not.
They want to ease people into that transition because They don't want people to think, oh, yeah, he's just a rebound commentator.
Yeah. So they did that.
Even funnier because most of SmackDown is the Raw rebound, but still.
Yeah, it is. Also, Dwayne The Rock Johnson confirmed this week that he will be in the Shazam movie, but he is not going to. He will say he will either be Shazam or he will be Black Adam. Either he doesn't know yet or he's not allowed to reveal yet.
Yeah. Like I said, I can see him playing either role well. I hope
Yeah.
he plays Shazam more than I do Black Adam, but I could see Black Adam.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that. And the final thing I wanted to mention here was that there was an interview with the guy in charge of 2K15.
Oh, God.
No, it's okay. It's cool.
I was thinking, is that the one where the fans asked him questions?
Yes.
Spoiler alert, every answer was, we'll tell you later.
Yeah. Well, they asked him what changed in CAW mode. He mentioned they got a lot of downloads for that. They have some new surprises for the community on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. They'll be sharing those with everyone in the weeks leading up to the launch. It was asked about how hard it was to bring it to next gen in the motion capture, but they said they spent over 40 days in their state-of-the-art 2K mocap studio capturing more than 5 times the number of animations than any previous year. So that's pretty cool. He was asked about improvements to match types like the cage and the cell, if any. And this is what I think is cool. He said, you will notice right away we put a lot of effort into making sure that environments are 100% accurate based on what happens in WWE. We have made a lot of adjustments to the rings, cages, barricades, and announce table to make this a reality. And when you get inside the ring, you can tell the difference. All the improved authenticity and realism leads to a better overall experience in 2K15.
Yep.
They're going to share more details on that in the future. They asked about various issues of Raw having featured guests, if any would be in there. He said they haven't announced the entire roster in the game, but they have announced what's coming up soon that they believe the community is going to be really excited about. Plus, they have a big celebrity in a certain way this year, Sting, and he talked up Sting a little bit. Fantasy matches you could do: Sting versus Undertaker, Sting versus Undertaker, Sting versus Cena, Sting versus Brock, etc. The reaction to the Sting announcement has been bigger than any announcement in the history of this franchise. We couldn't imagine a better addition to the roster than the Stinger.
I will say, I was glad that their interview confirmed Universe mode was back. Even if, like I said, I got pissed off with that Q&A. Because when you actually read their questions, like the one Jim just read to you, Raw has featured many celebrity guests and stuff like that over the course of the year. Will there be any featured? Well, we can't tell you about that, but we are happy about Sting being featured, blah, 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 blah. A lot of them, they just kept telling, they went off on tangents that had nothing to do with the question, and the only answer to the question was, we'll tell you in the future.
Yep.
And was extremely vague. That just annoyed me, because it's like, well, at this point, why did you do a Q&A?
Yep. But they they can't yet comment. They want to ensure the game plays at a solid 60 frames per second and a full 1080p, so they can't comment on how many guys can be in the ring at once for the game yet.
Yep.
2K showcases in all versions of the game. Yep. What improvements have made to oh yeah, they made Universe, yeah. Okay, good, yeah. Eager to show the community we're going to wait long to find out what's in store for Universe mode in 2K15. Stay tuned for yeah, okay, so fair enough. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I saw that on IGN. It was kind of annoying. Although, speaking of the same thing, for people listening, if you go over to IGN.com, they do have the Randy Orton and Goldust, right? Randy Orton and Goldust entrances up for you to watch.
Oh, nice.
And they actually, I saw the Orton and Goldust ones. They actually do look a lot better than they did the previous years. Animations are similar, but the graphics, you can tell the difference, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it looks really realistic.
Because this one looks realistic and not like shit.
Yep.
Like last year's.
Yeah, when the game comes out, a shot from this is going to be yeah. When this game comes out, a shot from this is going to have to be added to the Booker T face comparison shot.
Yeah. Assuming Booker T makes the cut.
He was on the roster reveal list.
I don't know. I don't pay attention. The second they mention black guy, I just tune him out.
Fair enough.
I'm kidding. I didn't see him on the list because I didn't really read the list. I just saw the reveal at the show and I didn't see him mentioned.
Fair enough. No, he was on the
cool
list.
if
He
he's
was on the
mentioned.
list. Yeah, he was on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, but cool if he's there.
Yep. Good stuff. But yeah, so that's all the news I had this week. It was a slow news week.
Fair enough.
I just want to mention one more thing. Wade Barrett was somebody caught up with Wade Barrett and he asked about when he's coming back. He said probably in December. So
Disguised as Santa.
there you go. So we look forward to the return of Bad News Barrett.
Fair enough. So I believe it's back to our host.
Indeed.
All right, so that was another WXR. Heard all the stuff, the goings on of wrestling the past week, the previous week, except for SmackDown, but nobody cares. So ha ha ha. Anyway,
And TNA.
we will. Oh, that's true. And ROH and stuff. Anyway, but we will hopefully have you back next week, and probably, assuming Marcus Shadow decides to show up, he'll be here too. So next Saturday night, be sure to listen to that. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, and everyone for listening. Thank you, and good night.
You are a lovely host.
Oh, thank you.
Indeed. Round of applause for Richter.
Did you say a round of applause for Richter, or did you say menopause for Richter?
Good night, everybody.